Hey everybody, welcome to TurVacations. Today, we're going to go over the top 10 places to visit in France. Make sure to watch until number 1, because it's one of the most amazing places I've ever seen. France has some of the most beautiful scenery in the world, from the boulevards of Paris to the fashionable seaside resorts of the Côte d'Azur. Romantics are enchanted by fairy tale castles, magnificent cathedrals, and picture-perfect villages. At the same time, the country's modern monuments and rapid train transit jolt visitors out of their storybook surroundings and into the atmosphere of the 21st century. Because of its distinctive six-sided shape, the French affectionately refer to their beloved homeland as l'Hexagone. The rugged and outdoorsy French Alps, sun-drenched and slow-paced Provence, and idyllic Alsace, a pastoral region where storybook hamlets are tucked away in the vine-covered rolling hills, each have their own distinct personality. Corsica's spectacular coastal scenery, unspoiled woods, and snow-capped mountains all contribute to the island's rugged and raw appeal. The island is surrounded by beautiful beaches, quiet bays, appealing fishing ports, and lively seaside cities, while the inland hillsides are crowned with ancient villages where time appears to stand still. The island's unrivaled natural sights attract sun worshippers, outdoorsy and sporty types, including hardcore hikers. The 1,000-kilometer shoreline boasts crystal-clear waters that make snorkeling and scuba diving a dream come true. Alsace. The historic cities of Strasbourg and Colmar, as well as the hundreds of Alsatian villages, have a distinct old-world charm that is unlike anything else in France. Alsace's architecture and atmosphere have been influenced by neighboring Germany over the centuries, as evidenced by the brightly painted, half-timbered buildings and venerable Gothic churches. Strasbourg enchants visitors with its narrow cobblestone streets, picturesque canals, and ornate cathedral. Colmar is a classic Alsatian town, with interesting old churches and traditional houses with flower-bedecked balconies. Outside of these two cities, there is a pristine landscape of vine-covered foothills. Tiny storybook hamlets and picturesque villages are nestled in the valleys and along the Rhine River. The Alsace Villages route is a charming way to discover the region. Many villages are designated as plus beaux villages de France, most beautiful villages of France, and others as villages fleuris, flowering villages, due to the vibrant potted flowers that adorn the homes and streets. Mont Blanc. The French Alps have some of the most breathtaking natural scenery on the planet. The majestic Mont Blanc is Europe's highest mountain, a snow-capped peak that rises to 4,810 meters. The air is clean at this elevation, and the scenery is breathtaking, with crystal-clear lakes, dramatic rushing waterfalls, peaceful valleys, and refreshing pine forests. Visitors flock to the Alps during the summer to go hiking, cycling, and mountain climbing. The French Alps attract a large number of tourists during the winter for alpine skiing, snowboarding, and cross-country skiing. Many of France's top ski resorts are located in this region. Ice skating, dog sledding rides, and horse-drawn sleigh rides are also popular activities during the snowy season. Aside from the spectacular mountain scenery, the region has a rich cultural heritage connected to the ancestral territory of the Italian royal house of Savoy as well as the historic Dauphiné region. Chamonix, about a 15-minute drive from the base of Mont Blanc, has a traditional alpine atmosphere, whereas Annecy, about a 1-hour drive from Chamonix, has an ancient chateau, lakeside scenery, and a fairy tale atmosphere. The Bordeaux region is a lovely bucolic corner of France, with grandiose castles atop rolling, vine-covered hills. Scenic tree-shaded paths wind through the countryside, following alongside the Garonne River in its tranquil canals. Many visitors enjoy exploring this area on a leisurely bicycle tour. The region is home to 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, the elegant city of Bordeaux, which has over 350 buildings classified as historical monuments, and the small country village of Saint-Emilion, which is 51 kilometers from Bordeaux and is home to numerous churches and monasteries. Marseille, an exuberantly multicultural port city with a pedigree dating back to classical Greece and a legitimate claim to the title of France's second city, combines grit and grandeur seamlessly. Previously regarded as somewhat dirty and dangerous, and lacking the glitz of Cannes or Saint-Tropez, this black sheep of the Provençal coastline has blossomed in cultural confidence since its 2013 stint as European Capital of Culture. The addition of a pair of swanky new museums is just the outward manifestation of an almost palpable sense of optimism and self-belief. Marseille's vibrant viewport is packed mast to mast with yachts and pleasure boats. The ancient Le Panier neighborhood, The city's oldest section is just uphill. The République Quarter, with its stylish boutiques and Haussmannian buildings, and the Joliette area, which is centered on Marseille's totemic Cathédrale de Marseille Notre-Dame de la Major, are also worth exploring. Versailles. The Palace of Versailles, a former French royal residence and government center, is now a national landmark. It is located 10 miles southwest of Paris in the city of Versailles, northern France. Versailles, as the seat of the French court, was one of Europe's biggest and best theaters. The original residence served as a hunting lodge and private retreat for Louis XIII. The king commissioned Jacques Le Mercier to build a chateau on the site in 1624. Its walls have been preserved as the exterior facade overlooking the marble court today. Provence. In contrast to the gray skies of Paris and northern France, the charming region of Provence enjoys warm Mediterranean sunshine for the majority of the year. This rural area has a rugged, earthy appeal and feels unspoiled by the modern world. The rolling hills are dotted with small farms, olive groves, sunflower fields, and lavender fields. Fragrant rosemary, sage, and thyme, as well as other wild herbs, grow abundantly here and enliven the local cuisine. Impressionist painters found inspiration for their vibrant works of art in this dreamy landscape. The village's pear-shade that crown Provence's hilltops enchant visitors. Saint Paul de Vence, a picture-perfect walled medieval town near many Côte d'Azur tourist destinations such as Aix and Gourdes, one of the Louvron's top attractions, are two favorites. Traditional ambience can be found in the heart of Provence on the tree-lined streets and outdoor cafes of Aix-en-Provence, at the festivals of Arles, and by the old seaport of Marseille. The Palais de Papes in Avignon, the legendary beach resort of Saint-Tropez, and the Roman Theatre in Orange, one of the Haute Amazing Vaucluse's sites, are also must-sees. Côte d'Azur. The Côte d'Azur, also known as the French Riviera, is a glamorous stretch of Mediterranean coastline named after its deep azure blue waters. The skies are often a mesmerizing cerulean hue as well, thanks to the sunny weather that prevails in this area of southern France for the majority of the year. The Côte d'Azur has been a fashionable seaside resort destination since the early 19th century, stretching roughly from Saint-Tropez to Menton, less than 30 kilometers from the border with Italy. Spring and autumn bring milder weather as well as a calmer, more relaxing atmosphere. There is something for everyone on the Côte d'Azur. Nice is the place to live it up, visit art museums, and stroll down cobblestone streets and palm-fringed boulevards. Day trips from Nice can be taken to magnificent waterfront villas and world-class art museums. Cannes, with its dazzling beachfront promenade and alluring old town, is one of the most famous French Riviera tourist attractions, as is Monaco, a tiny royal principality synonymous with luxury and decadence. Cannes and Monaco both have 5-star hotels, award-winning restaurants, and yacht-filled marinas. Sunbathers flock to Saint-Tropez, a buzzing summer vacation destination with exclusive private beaches as well as public beaches popular with regular tourists. Tourists love Antibes for its long sandy beaches, atmospheric medieval quarter, and fabulous Picasso Museum, which is housed in a castle overlooking the sea. Paris. Paris is a grand European capital known for its elegance and joie de vivre, with architectural masterpieces such as the Eiffel Tower and the Notre Dame Cathedral. The Louvre, one of the top museums in Paris, houses an exceptional fine arts collection, while the Musée d'Orsay and the Musée de l'Orangerie house treasures of French Impressionist art. Paris's atmospheric medieval quarters and graceful boulevards are also highlights. Shopping at bookshops in the Latin Quarter, strolling the Champs-Élysées, and people watching from a sidewalk cafe terrace on the Boulevard Saint-Germain-des-Prés are all essential tourist experiences. Mont Saint-Michel. The Normandy region's highlight is Mont Saint-Michel, a pastoral landscape of apple orchards, woodlands, and cow pastures. This must-see tourist attraction is number one on the long list of Normandy travel destinations, which also includes fantastic sites like historic castles and picture-perfect towns. The Abbey of Mont Saint-Michel, built between the 11th and 13th centuries, is one of France's most awe-inspiring sites. The UNESCO-listed abbey is perched on the hilltop of an islet in Mont Saint-Michel Bay and is considered a Gothic architectural marvel. The Abbey Church was a major medieval pilgrimage site on the way of St. James' pilgrimage route to Santiago de Compostela in Spain. Pilgrims still come here today, crossing the Bay of Saint-Michel on foot at low tide. The experience of visiting Mont Saint-Michel is uplifting. Visitors to this magnificent historic abbey can attend religious services, concerts, and cultural events. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't